Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. This is the Continental, Season 1, Episode 2. Welcome back. If you joined me for my Season 1, Episode 1 review of the Continental, I'm not going to repronounce that. You'll know that I didn't like it. I think this is just six steps away from being, an abomination of everything we've come to love about the John Wick universe. Had so many problems with the first episode. Winston doesn't feel like Winston at all. Doesn't even feel like he's trying. It just doesn't really come close. Film has way too much dialogue. I'm saying film. Sorry. This TV show has way too much dialogue in it. Way too much dialogue in it. If you watch the fourth John Wick film, there are scenes that go on for like 10, 12, 15 minutes with really no dialogue at all. They're just fight sequences, and they're really well choreographed, and that is what this franchise is known for. The Continental is like the complete opposite. There's more dialogue in one episode of the Continental than I think there is in the entire John Wick universe. I think if you counted all of the dialogue across 4 films, one episode of the Continental would pass it. They do nothing but talk. They cannot shut up in this series. But anyway, Peacock is running this. It's only 3 episodes, so I figured, you know what the fuck? Let's see where this thing goes. So the episode 1 ended with Frankie sacrificing his life, and lo and behold, Mel Gibson finds out that he didn't get the press, the coin press like he needed to, so he's upset. He's angry now. And, the round table's not happy with him. Or the table. Are they round? Has anyone seen the table? Is it round? Is it straight? What kind of table is it? I feel like that's really important. These might be King Arthur's Knights. The round table. That could be a cool prequel. To learn that John Wick origin story is with King Arthur. But it's so this is basically like the planning stage. This is like the middle, a lot of talking because they're planning things. We learned more about all these extraneous characters that I didn't really need to know anything about. The girl that runs the dojo, and the systematic racism that she's faced over the years, and her this guy that just keeps wanting to try to put a cigarette machine inside of her dojo. He's like, you will have this cigarette machine, and she's like, no, get this shit out of here. She's like, my father had an understanding with your father, so your father's dead, but we're gonna keep that same understanding that our business is our business, and you don't own me. And he's like, you're making a dangerous proposition. And I'm like, why? Why do I care? I don't care about you. Who are these characters? Why should I care? This is just a mini-series. You're not the main character. You're not Winston. You don't turn into something. Is she like the mother of John Wick? I don't, like, where are we going with this? Like, what's happening with this franchise? Anyway, I have no idea. This is just a lot of people talking, and they're planning. They're planning to take the Continental by force. And they have a plot. And he's gaining support, and he goes and he talks to the Bowery Queen. Yes, Queen. We have a queen at the Bowery. Because Lindsay Lawrence Fishburne. And Winston tries to appeal to her because she does not like what's going on at the Continental, and is not a fan of Mel Gibson's. It's pretty easy to find people who are not a fan of Mel Gibson nowadays. I know he has a character name, but if you think I care, you didn't watch my first review. So I thought it was a cool reference to the Bowery, since the Bowery King, Lawrence Fishburne, was sort of an integral part to the John Wick universe. So it was like a nod to this other thing, like, oh, this has always been around also, and it exists. So check it out. I still don't know why the cop is here. I think she's just like an extraneous, unnecessary character that's just taking up screen time. She just kind of like investigates shit. She's kind of dumbass though. She thinks she's a lot smarter than she actually is. And she's like uncovering things. She slams some dude. She does that thing where she slams some dude's hand inside of a filing cabinet, and she's like, tell me what you know. You know. No. I'm not interested in her at all as a character. I don't even know how she's... That's the thing, is like, at the end of this, I'm not even sure how these characters will work into the franchise. Like, most of them are not from the John Wick universe. So where do they go from here? Do they all just die? Am I getting introduced to a whole bunch of people who are going to be dead by the end of the series? Because really, this is just a Winston prequel. This is like, hey, did anybody ever think about where did Ian McShane come from? Well, this is the series for you. Because it's not even the origin of the Continental. The hotel already exists. You know what I'm saying? We didn't go far enough back in time to show how the Continental actually came to fruition. The Continental already exists. It's already hosting assassins. There's already a table. This is just how Winston came to be. And it's the most unnecessary series I think we've ever had. And it's just, it's an example of just trying to have too much of a thing. You know, it makes me really scared for Ballerina, for the John Wick offshoot. I'm really just, I don't know. I don't trust people. I don't think David Leitch even saw these episodes, because I feel like if he saw these episodes and he was like, this is representing my franchise, he would have axed this series. He would have been like, no. Or he would have come in and forced his way in and been like, fine, I will do this. We will make this series not suck. I would be concerned if somebody came up to me and was like, guys, I really like the Continental. You know, I'm all about like differences of opinions, but I don't understand how you could possibly like the Continental unless you hate John Wick. That's the only reason you could like this and not that, because they're so wildly different in tone, in the way that they're shot. They don't even seem to, the Continental doesn't even seem to want to pay homage at all to the original. It's just, it doesn't understand what made the original film work and why it had 3 sequels. You know, it doesn't get it. It has no idea. And instead we have a film that is just, it's like Ocean's 11. Like, the dialogue is the focus of the film, of the series. And it shouldn't be. This is a franchise where the action should be. The most action-packed thing that happened in the second episode was Mel Gibson beat a cellist to death. That's it. That's what he did. I'm not even really sure why. Like, he's just crazy, you know, because his reasoning is so shitty. When, you know, the guy who will eventually become Lance Reddick, whatever that character's name is, I forgot, comes into the room and he sees that his friend was murdered, and he's like shakily angry, he's losing his grip on reality, and he comes over and he's like, he was stealing from me. Sir, may I ask what he was trying to steal? You. And then he, like, literally in, like, the audio description, he, like, grabs his face. Like, I was like, are they gonna? No, they're not making out. This is just a really awkward scene. Okay. I almost would have preferred the make out. You know, just to blow my mind. Just to do something in this series where I was just like, actually like, holy shit. You know, just because I am waiting for this thing to get interesting. It's got one more episode. I'll review it. I'll do it. But I don't usually watch things that are this low. When I grade things on my website, when I do my TV roundup of the shows that I'm watching and rank them every day based on what I saw that day, my grades don't go that low because I usually don't watch shows that I consider to be terrible. Here I am again, watching. I figured I could commit to the 3 episodes of the Continental, but this didn't really get any better. So, the audio description is fine. It's oddly much better than some of the other shows that Peacock has been putting out. Twisted Metal has awful audio description. Killing Its audio description is not much better. It's the actual written audio description is fine. It's just not recorded very well. It didn't actually translate onto the service in a very good way. But the Continental sounds fantastic. The audio description here is good. So, I don't know, whatever. But there's less action here to describe, so I'm very unimpressed. I'm just sort of like, I don't care. I mean, compared to John Wick 4, which I considered to be like a masterclass in audio description based on how little dialogue is in that film, is nothing but dialogue. These people could not possibly shut up. I would love to introduce a virus in this franchise that prevents people from talking, because I am exhausted by the amount of dialogue in this franchise right now in the Continental. So it is the complete opposite of the thing that it's trying to be. And I guess somewhere between the Continental and the John Wick universe, everybody just stopped talking. So I'm giving the Continental Season 1, Episode 2 a D+. Again, because this is not a good franchise and not a good series. Just watch the John Wick films. They're much better. This is an abomination compared to those other films. I really don't understand how David Leitch can sign off on this. I'm storing that away in the back of my mind. Should I ever meet David Leitch, I will be like, why on earth would you allow this to happen? What in good God's name was the reasoning behind this? It's watering down your franchise. There's no upside to this. So, anyway, I'll be back next week with another review. So please click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the other side.